Disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purpose only, it doesn't mean to hurt anyone, and don't take it seriously.
I sent.
What'd you send me?
Welcome, folks, to Me Podcast Who Listen.
No, I could edit this shit. What'd you send me?
All right. I sent you there's a video with Dominic Mysterio in a golf cart running over a fan too. I tried to send you two links so you can pull them up during the show. So apparently there was a couple accidents at WrestleMania.
So that's which one did you send me? The first one or the second one with the golf cart incident?
I think try the second link, has the actual link to like a Twitter, I think, video where it shows the actual accident.
So one thing I did notice, I actually watched it 85% of the time. I watched most of it.
What did you not see? Part of night 2 or night 1?
So night 1, I didn't see the first match.
When Jay won the title.
Yeah, I just didn't care. Yeah. I don't know these guys. It just looked like Rock clones out there trying to be, I don't know. It just looks like it's like Rock clones now. Everybody's Samoan in this fucking WWE. Everybody's a Samoan, some kind of Samoan background.
Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, and Roman Reigns are all Samoans were on the first show.
And then I didn't see the tag team championship with New Day and War Raiders because I wasn't interested in that either.
I didn't miss much.
And the funniest thing is, most of the wrestling matches, they took advantage of smashing people against the rails on the outside of the ring. Did you notice that? Everybody got slammed against the padded rails now. And I don't know how bad that would really hurt, considering you get hit with a chair and thrown through tables, and you get thrown into this mat, and you're like, like sell it for like 20 minutes, like and
yeah, they got knocked.
It's fucking padded,
a couple times, yeah.
it's fucking padded. So
it's all like shock. It's like stuntmen's shock stuff. So
I did watch
explosions and going through a wall or something.
I did watch when I tuned in. I tuned in during Naomi versus Jade.
It was a kind of a squash there.
Yeah, and then I watched the Jacob Fatua versus LA Knight because you guys talked about LA Knight last time, and I thought that was okay. I picked LA Knight to win.
No, yeah, so did my buddy. Yeah, Jacob Fatu has the rocket strapped to him, so I knew he was going to win.
So he won.
I went like 6-1 on my predictions on night 1, and I think I went 2-5 in night 2. So I don't know what the fuck they were doing in night 2.
Well, then the second the one I watched was the Rey Mysterio couldn't be there match. And
yeah, apparently he tore his groin, I think someone said. Yeah, right the night before. And that's what I think I was talking to Rocky too, or messaged him or something like, why are you putting Rey Mysterio, who is one of the oldest wrestlers in WWE, in a match even if it's a 6-man, right before WrestleMania? It just didn't make any sense. And of course he got hurt, and they replaced him with a guy they just signed.
And that guy did pretty good.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I thought that was a pretty decent match. I don't know these guys very well, but I thought he did okay. There seemed to be quite a few botches, I guess, in this match. I guess it kind of fuck ups.
Ray Phoenix, who replaced Rey Mysterio, he literally came from AEW. His brother was in the 4-way tag on Sunday. So they're legit brothers, but they were both recently signed. But Ray, because of had time tacked onto his contract because of injury, so Tony Khan didn't let him go for a little while. So yeah, he actually was, I think, literally just signed a few weeks back. So he couldn't have possibly had time to really have any real house show matches to wrestle around with Gable. But it was Chad Gable underneath the mask, and he's just gotten really shredded, which is kind of cool to see, because since he's been doing this, claiming he's not him, obviously, but he did that, like, whatever that, what do they call it, the 620 or whatever. That was pretty impressive. I've never seen Chad Gable do that
450
before. Or 450, yeah,
450 splash.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
But he did it backwards.
Yeah,
so he landed. Yeah, he did it, and he landed like a senton.
His shorts are a little high. They're up his asshole like a girl's shorts, so he needs to get bigger. bigger singlet because it looks like his singlet's like up his butt, man.
Yeah, maybe
But
it was.
that was a pretty decent one.
Yeah.
The match of the night for me. I know we want to say it's Roman Reigns and Seth
Ooh,
Rollins.
they're not going to say that, huh?
I'm not going to say the match of the night was Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton.
That was a fun match too. Yeah, that was the semi-main. Yeah, that
Now,
was.
the only reason I thought it was interesting was it seemed like there was a lot of fucking mess ups in that one too.
Yeah.
And I think Charlotte Flair got a little pissed and started fucking stiffing her a couple times with forearms to the face. Because some of those, I'll tell you, both nights.
Yeah.
Rocky, you can call in whenever you see this, and I will not answer. But I think the girls' matches were better than most of the fucking guys' matches during WrestleMania. They
Yeah, that's
they
fair.
they
Yeah.
fucking hit hard. They were hitting like full on forearms, fucking smashing people.
The triple
They were
threat the next day was really good too on Sunday. Yeah, that was
they
the
were
other championship match
yeah,
with the
they were
ladies. Yeah.
selling out, man.
Yeah.
And they were going hard. And I gotta say, that was probably more interesting. The first night, that was probably the most, and the fact she got her teeth fucked up, like you could tell her teeth were all
Yeah, well,
chipped up.
yeah, and I should have sent you pics of that. I took screenshots of that, but then she posts later in her story, teeth's fine. So the only thing I could think of was because you could easily say, oh, there was just blood on her
Covered in
veneers.
blood, dried blood.
Her veneers were blood. So Charlotte has fake teeth like veneers. I mean, Roman does too, because obviously when he came back, he had, I forget which wrestler bagged on him saying he had a big bar of soap in his mouth. Maybe it was Seth Rollins or whatnot. But I'm pretty sure Tiffany too. So maybe her veneers got fucked up because did look like they were chipped. But for a little bit of the freeze frames, it looked like maybe blood was just stained in the right spot. But the few pictures, and I'd have to send them to you after. But the few pictures look like her teeth were messed up, but like it couldn't have been her real teeth because she had veneers afterwards.
Well,
unless
she got her face, she got her face smashed pretty good. Though.
Yeah.
She was bleeding. And
yeah, her lip was definitely busted at the very minimum.
She didn't look happy at the end. You know, most of the time they're selling the smiles, and she looked she looked like she got fucked up.
Yeah.
Now, Charlotte Flair looked sickly, like too skinny for me. Something happened there. She got really thin, but like so thin that her ass disappeared. Like they didn't even fit.
Yeah, she doesn't have an ass anymore.
No, it just seems she looks like the old cat now in the locker room. So she got old pretty fast. She went from daddy's little girl to all of a sudden she's the Ric Flair of the new era of the women's locker room. She just looks older. But I thought it was a good match. I thought that was probably the most entertaining of all the wrestling matches.
That was a lot better than I thought. I agree with you.
There was a lot
I didn't think I would have been as entertaining as that was, that match.
Yeah. And it just there was a lot of it just seemed like wrestling for the guy side going into the final match with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and CM Punk.
Yeah.
That is a typical wrestling gimmick show match. Like that had a lot of shit going on that brings back old school wrestling type. It wasn't so much the wrestling as much as the stuff that was all going on during the match.
The story,
the whole psychology and all the shit that was happening during the match. I think that's what was interesting. The most interesting about that final match, it wasn't so much all the big bumps and stuff they were doing. It was more of you got I forgot his name. The manager.
Oh, Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman is outside, you know, doing his typical dramatic shit. And CM Punk's, you know, this is his final match, I'm assuming. This is his last match.
No, it was his first ever main event. So for years, the story was when he left, he had never got his WrestleMania main event. There was the year before he left, too. He felt like he should have been added to The Rock and John Cena, and Vince McMahon wouldn't do it. And it was just a whole boiling over. He was injured, hurt, so he ends up leaving. They send him the divorce. They send him the termination papers on his wedding day. So it was a big amount of drama with him in WWE for years. So he never actually was a main event. He wrestled Undertaker, but it wasn't the last match of the night, basically.
So it was cool. I mean, big build up to CM Punk, make everybody believe he was going to take the because I didn't even think Seth Rollins. I thought he was just a fucking third wheel on this whole thing. It was more.
I knew he was going to win,
Reigns.
but people started spoiling that Heyman might be involved, and then once I heard that, and then I started paying attention to the story on Monday with Rollins setting it up, telling Heyman basically like, "Hey, these guys don't care about you. Roman left you to the new bloodline who was abusing you. CM Punk left you when he left the company, when the stuff I was just saying." So he was actually making sense, but then he was kind of twisting it, saying, "You don't belong in this. Let me take you and put you out of your misery." And then the following week, I think Punk did show up, and he stopped Punk, and then he stopped before getting to Heyman, and then he said, "Now you owe me a favor." So the seeds were sowed if you were watching Monday Night Raw, or I think both of those happened on Raw. So it was not like he was friendly with Heyman, but they sowed the seeds where now after you see what happened, oh yeah, this makes sense. That's why he paired himself with Seth. But yeah, the story was good. They hit each other with a million finishers in succession.
That's the one. That's the one
I think.
I think that's also fucking sucks for wrestlers when you constantly hit them with your finisher and then you get out of it, then you hit them with another finisher, you get out of it. It just seems like it kind of makes the finisher not seem so effective, I guess.
Yeah, they did that in a couple matches, and I guess their logic would be it's WrestleMania. You have super adrenaline at WrestleMania. So there was a few times where it was like in a normal situation, like fuck, he kicks out of this. Like, no, I've never seen anybody kick out of that.
Kicks out of this one, kicks out of that one, another finisher. So I thought night one was a good start for WrestleMania. Is that the whole idea for night one? It's not really, it's kind of like the pregame for the actual wrestling event. Is that the best way of saying it?
No, I mean, they just split the matches so they can give you 14 matches, 7 and 7. So basically, night one is its own event. Night two is its own event. 7 marquee matches, so to speak, marquee matches. And then, although some of them seem like matches that you would see on Monday Night Raw, basically. But it just was what it was. They tried to get most everybody on the card, but some of the stuff they did leading into night two, like, I mean, apparently Kevin Owens is really hurt. That's why Randy Orton couldn't wrestle, but like some of the execution of what they did, I mean, it really made night one look so much better. After I watched night two, I was like, geez, frag, man, what are they doing? But yeah, I mean, they couldn't get everybody on the card, so they didn't have any big battle royals or most they had in the one match was 4 guys, but they didn't, the ladies tag, they didn't have a gauntlet or anything. So it was like really, they tried to fit their really main people on the card, and then they brought some people back that bumped other people, like Becky bumping Bailey out of the match. I feel like they probably could have set some of that stuff up better, I guess.
So night one obviously was better for you.
Yeah, I would say so.
Night two, the Rhea Ripley, Blanca, and what's her name's
Io Sky.
Very good match, fucking fun to watch. I didn't think the first match would come out like that. It did come out guns a-blazing, lots of high risk shit off the top rope, a lot of cool maneuvers. I think Rhea Ripley is a fucking underrated. I think she deserves better than what she got out of this. I think she should have been a main eventer. She's the image of her, just the way she acts, her body, everything about her just screams like she's the real deal. She doesn't seem like she's getting much main event shit. And why was there so many triple threat matches? And why was there so many? That's what it seems like. Everything was triple threat.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to shoehorn it. They just tried to shoehorn as many people as they could. So the original match leading into, they had some drama with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So basically, once Bianca won the Elimination Chamber, it was supposed to be Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, but they had set it up like, but she has to face Io Sky on Monday after Elimination Chamber. So they're already sowing the seeds. But the marquee matchup, kind of like Charlotte and Tiffany, would have been these two athletic beasts going at it, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. But I think Triple H really loves certain people, and he wants to get certain ones in. And what I think happened on more so night 2 than I feel night 1, is they wanted Io in the match because obviously she's a great wrestler. She had never won at WrestleMania. Dominic Mysterio never won at WrestleMania either. He's in a match, he's in that Intercontinental match later. And I think they just really wanted to get them in the event, get them a WrestleMania win. And because Rhea lost it kind of with a mild distraction. And then, yeah, you're right. She deserved better, but she wasn't champion going in. I didn't think she was going to win the match either, and she didn't. I thought maybe more Bianca, but once they pointed out Bianca's record and they acknowledged that she lost in a battle royal, and they did that with Dominic too, I knew that they were playing kind of records because some of the booking has always been they look at previous records and they try to give somebody a win if they haven't got a win ever.
I gotta say that finish of that match though was fucking cool. That chick landing that flip off the top.
Yeah, moonsault.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was good. It was a good match. That was probably a good way to start number 2.
It was a hot opener.
What I would dictate was a shitty night of wrestling after that, because the Drew McIntyre Damon Priest match, street fight, no different than I think you could have put Bubba Ray Dudley and the Dudley Boys, and it would be a typical match that they would go through. Lots of tables. Lots of
the finish shots. Was cool with the Claymore into the chair, but I can't think of anything that Damian Priest did. So leaving that match, it felt like a squash. And I was like, you could have brought back one of the guys who are bringing him back this week, either tonight as we record this or on Friday for SmackDown. You could have brought one of those guys back.
But you don't think that was kind of a rush? Like the finish, there was lots of high shit. Tables, throwing tables, bam, bam.
A lot of shit.
And then all of a sudden you just kick him with a chair and he's out for the rest of the match. I mean, the fuck? So
that was his finisher into the chair.
I get it, but it seems kind of dumb that they had to wedge a chair in the corner and then that's the finisher. And he's just laying there. Okay, what are you, dead? I mean,
he kept trying to get the attention of the Slayer guitarist throughout the entire intro, and he wouldn't look up, and it was just so funny.
He's all like,
at that. Yeah, and he's just
fingers up, and
he's just thrashing, never looks up ever.
This is the biggest audience Slayer's had in a long time. That's why he's taking advantage of it. Slayer's been out of the game for a while.
It's just a Slayer guitarist, though. I think.
Right? I thought it was lame. I didn't think that match was that great for a street fight. Should have brought in Sandman from the crowd or something to fucking make it more exciting.
I felt like you have a couple guys coming from AEW that they've already signed. One of them they're teasing for Friday's his return. I felt I would have probably put money on it because they had the eye patch, which when the guy left WWE before he's come back now, he had his eye So I thought there was a lot of teases, and I'm like, okay, Aleister Black's going to come back, attack Damian Priest right in this match. It's obviously no DQ. And I'm like, why? They didn't do nothing. That's all they did was they looked like Drew just squashed him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it wasn't that great. It was kind of just a basic match.
You could have easily threw a guy in there to cost him the match. Just protect him at least,
So Randy Orton open challenge versus Joe Hendry. Is that his name? Hendry. Was funny. I thought it was a squash match. I thought that was a squash match. Was funny. The dude's pretty funny. Every time he turns around, he's smiling. That was pretty funny. Then it was funny Randy afterwards just making fun of him. I felt like this match was just done just to appease Randy Orton to get his 20th match in at WrestleMania and just kind of put it together. It just seemed kind of like a filler. Didn't really, could have probably put something else in there with some people in the
at Backlash, they're supposed to be in St. Louis, Randy Orton's hometown. So more than likely they're doing Cena and Orton. So he had to come out of it strong. What I thought they should have done is they should have just had a rotate. He was supposed to face Kevin Owens. It was a serious grudge match, and then apparently his neck is legit hurt. Me and my one friend thought for sure that he was going to attack him, like come out as dressed as a cameraman. But apparently Owens is really hurt. At least obviously he would have been in this match. One guy I work with thought they should have just kept feeding guys, and I felt like that was perfect. Like you could have fed like 3 or 4 guys coming in, and Orton just keeps RKOing them. Yeah, and then one of them could have been Hendry, which would have been cool. He's the TNA champ. I mean, he's not coming out of that winning, obviously, because Orton needs to be strong, but they could have finished it with the last guy being really tough. It could have been somebody,
But I think this was a connection with TNA. I read about it. TNA signed with WWE to get a connection so they get more people in.
Yeah.
So it's just a way to connect the two franchises together and try to get them involved with each other. So,
I don't know why they don't just, if they bought AAA, which they did, it was announced earlier in the day on WrestleMania Night 1 on that Saturday, they bought the Mexican promotion, Lucha Libre AAA. Like, you could buy TNA. You might as well just buy TNA. Like, you pretty much bought Evolve. The only one they haven't bought is AEW. Like, you're basically showcasing the TNA guys anyways. You might as well just buy them. Unless they're not for sale. I don't know what the hell's going on, though.
I'm missing one in here for some reason, but
you forgot about the IC match.
the the Intercontinental Champion match.
Yeah, that was the 4-way
where they brought out Carlito. I didn't even want that. Was just dumb. Now, speaking of incidents that happened, Carlito did throw part of the table into the crowd, and it did hit somebody.
Oh, did I don't remember that.
So if you can watch it again, he grabbed the top of the table and he threw it, and it hit the people to the right of where Stone Cold ran into those people. Old lady sitting right there got hit in the face with the table, but no one seemed to make a big deal about that.
The whole section is just injured.
Yeah, well, he did. He threw it into the crowd. I might try to find it if we can. I'll show it on your. I guess I can't show it because we fucking show it. We're all.
Yeah.
Well, but
yeah,
again,
I tried to actually upload the video behind me, even with the blue screen.
Yeah.
The audio alone, they just detect the audio.
So
immediately.
I think there's a lot of. We'll get to that if we can before the end of this thing. But going through that one, that was not that interesting of a match. Could give a shit less.
Well,
I know that Dominic Mysterio won. Could care less. He doesn't look that great of a wrestler to me.
Well, people love him, so they were starting to cheer for him, and he was getting booed. But Braun was the star of that because, for sure, that guy. He's the son of Rick Steiner, if you remember the Steiner brothers.
Yeah,
and yeah. He speared Carlito off that table.
Well, dude, he was the one that was doing most of the action in this one. And he's a beast looking dude. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He looks like his dad. Then the Randy Orton challenge that was good. AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Just curious. That was
disappointing. Yeah.
It
felt like that could have been better.
It just seemed like a basic match. It didn't really seem. And then the part I didn't understand is Logan Paul gives AJ his finisher, and then AJ gets up and gives him his finisher. What's the fucking point of that?
I don't know.
So it just seemed like, I don't know. Logan Paul is he's good. He's got a good persona going on. He's got a good gimmick, but it just seemed like, again, another match.
Yeah, there was nothing special.
They could have put someone else in there. So they gave that grade a B from this Wrestling Ring CBS Sports. I think
they gave that match a B.
Yeah, I think it was worse than that. I don't think it was that great at all.
Maybe C. I was said.
The other match
it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't anything special. They didn't do anything that you would have go back and say, "Oh fuck!" You remember when AJ Styles did this to Logan Paul? They just like you said, they had a basic match that you could have watched on Monday or Friday.
Yeah, it was nothing like the other people. At least gave you some really big finishers or some big moves. They didn't really do a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, no, it was.
I think there was so much fucking focus on the Prime drink and his holding his little camera, the drone, and letting it fly around. And what is the point of saying all angles? Is that like a gimmick of his or something? But it just,
I don't know. That was excessive. Yeah.
So John Cena versus.
Did you forget about the ladies tag where Becky Lynch came back?
I did. Totally right here. Okay, women's tag team with Becky Lynch. Did not watch it. So
they bumped Bayley off the match. They said she got attacked as an excuse to bring Becky Lynch. And it is true. Becky and this girl Lyra, who was still fairly new on the main roster, they are legit more of a team than Bayley and her. But I thought for sure they had Bayley in there to turn on her. So, like, instead they did this. I'm like, why wouldn't you just have Bayley walk out on her? Mm-hmm. And then, like, she loses, gets beat down, then have Becky make the save. Then you could build it up more and then have this match. And there felt like this was hot-shotted. And it ended up just fucking Bayley out of the match. And, yeah, if I'm Bayley, I'm pissed off. Like, you're not even on WrestleMania. It's just kind of set up to...
Did you like the match?
They could have executed. Yeah. Again, it wasn't anything. I take it much like you just said with the last match. It wasn't anything special. They could have done a better story. There weren't enough cool twists and stories in it in night 2. I mean, I know they had the main event of night 1. They had that for it to be like, this isn't anything.
That's what I mean. There's nothing
special.
It doesn't sell the story, right?
No. Even in the main event, as we're about to get to. Like you couldn't even fucking get the Rock back in the main event. You had to have
Well,
this fucking Rock
that I
surrogate.
thought was going to happen. The
Yeah.
whole thing building up to The Rock, right? I really thought
It's disappointing.
I
Why
couldn't
do the
stop.
thing with the Rock if he's not even going to show up?
I couldn't stop looking at John Cena's arms compared to his body. His arms look like that rapper that has the big hands and big gloves, Ludacris. Have you seen the videos where he's like, oh no, and he's moving his arms? Everything's super huge. John Cena's arms are so puffy looking compared to his body now. His body doesn't fit his fucking forearm. He looks like Popeye. Big hands, big forearms, big arms, and then his shoulders are kind of pushed in, and his chest cavity, everything looks shrunken, and he looks sick. He looks pale. He doesn't look like a wrestler like he used to.
Yeah, I would. He fixed whatever the bald spot because I think that was done before. He's filming. I think he's filming some movie where
that's what you
he
keep
can't,
saying, but he looks.
So he
weird.
must not be able to tan because it would fuck it up with the movie. So that's the only thing I could think of. But the problem was he looked old because you're not tanning. You're obviously smaller. You may have fixed the thing in your hair, but like at least give him something like where he just looks like a ghastly version of him, which means if you don't have some theatrics around him winning in there, it just looks like Cody Rhodes just ended up looking like a schmuck because he didn't hit him with the belt at the end, and then he gets kicked in the nuts. This rapper that half the probably people in the WWE audience probably know who he is, the other half barely know who he is, like me. I'm like, what? I would rather have him hit the Rock's music and then have the rapper come up from behind and attack him. At least give the illusion that the Rock somehow involved.
It was a lame match.
So,
it was
lame. It was horrible.
And then he's like, don't hit me with the belt. And they're trying to sell that, and he fucking.
Was dumb. He looked like a schmuck. Why would you? You got beat down by this guy at the last major pay-per-view. You've had War of Words, obviously, but you're still showing after this guy hits you with the watch, the belt, the other guy punched you in the face, you still are it goes beyond just being the baby face. Oh, I don't want to do this to you looking like a schmuck. And I'm like, yeah, he's sitting there on the ramp at the end, like, come on. Like, who the fuck booked this shit? I want to say, like, I could have fucking done a better job than this. And if you gave me a couple hours, and I'm like, nobody told Triple H, hey man, this isn't gonna look good. This is crap.
This is what he looks like. That's what his arms look like. Swear to God.
The master debater.
His hands are huge compared to his body. It just doesn't look right. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what
he looks sick. So,
yeah, he just looks very old now.
And then they try to do that after thing with him.
Yeah, he won't answer the questions.
And it's just they're trying to do some stupid. It just all seemed, I don't know.
Apparently, another friend I work with said his interview on Pat McAfee was better, but I haven't seen that yet.
John Cena's,
but apparently Cena went on McAfee and whatever he did on there he said was pretty awesome. But I haven't watched it yet, so.
I mean, he's got to do something. I don't know. It's not. At least don't wear a long sleeve shirt or something. It just, I don't know. And then the whole at the end when he's giving him his little chokehold bullshit at the end where he's trying to hold his head and got his leg locked in and he's doing this. Yeah, you can just tell he's not even really holding it, and then he's keeps dragging him back forth like 3 or 4 fucking times. It's like this just seemed like a lame ending to the WrestleMania. That's just the way I looked at it. It was just not.
Did we miss a match on night one? We did Jay beating Gunther, which had to happen. It was the opener. I know there was New Day in LA Knight, and then Chad Gable and a lady in the main. But that's 6
WrestleMania match.
So what was the
first one? Match? Was triple threat. That's night one.
Jay and Gunther was the opener.
So the match is on night one. Triple threat. World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, that opened
Women's Championship.
That was the semi-main, so that's
United
3.
States Championship,
4,
World's Tag Team Championship,
5.
Jade versus Naomi.
Oh, that one. I think that's the one we missed. Yeah, or did we?
I don't know. I probably didn't see that one. That was
6. Yeah,
wasn't that early? No, that was the one I told you I didn't see. We didn't
yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. Jade. Yeah, that was the squash match. I think where she just squashed her.
Jade's back. Jade had some kind of outfit on that made her back look like it was all fucked up looking in the lower back. Their leotard kept wrinkling at the bottom, so it looked rigid. But it matches her skin color, so it's like it looked like her back was all fucked up.
Storm of the X-Men. I think
So that's what she looks
normally
like,
comes out.
right? So is that the whole?
Yeah.
That's what she's supposed to look
Yeah.
like. So she looks like Storm. Again,
Yeah.
it wasn't. I don't know. That
She's
one
a genetic freak, but you have to realize she only had whatever handful of matches in AEW. She was training under Bryan Danielson over there, but she really, when she came into WWE, she still had she would still be considered green. So then they had this injury angle where she was out for a good chunk amount of time. So really, yeah, I think there were some botches in there. Maybe we did talk about this very briefly, but it was a squash match basically. Yeah, like we were saying.
So highlights of the WrestleMania were the accidents that happened during this match. Stone Cold, they show videos now of Stone Cold driving under the ramp. They show Stone Cold, dude. He was fucking flooring it through that circle area. He was
well, the hilarious thing is he goes like this, like some goofy thing towards the announce table right before he makes the turn, and I'm like, what the fuck? You took your eye off the fucking road for 1 second, and then he crashed into the fucking barricade.
That didn't look that devastating. I know that woman sold it, and
yeah, I think she was probably looking for a payday.
Yeah, they gave her free tickets to the next WrestleMania, so
yeah, I'm sure they did.
It just looked kind of lame, and he checked on her, but I don't think.
Yeah, because she wasn't smiling; she just was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
she just had a weird look. Like obviously she's selling this,
but like
she got knocked back, delayed into her chair. So the only thing you could feel like something happened was like PTSD or something, like just a shock, like she was in.
I just think
it's just hard to really picture that, but yeah, the person who got hit by that golf cart. Did you pull up that video?
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, I think that was a lot more devastating from the looks of it.
It says they got hurt.
Yeah, I'll be even laughing.
Let me see if I can find where Carlito threw. He threw the top of the table. So if anybody goes back and watches it, he did throw that table into
yeah, now that you say that I mean, but that was like one of the last matches I watched because that night too was
other things to do.
Well, I just went out cold, but I was fucked up I stayed up for the Hall of Fame on the Friday night after Smack. For some reason, it was 3 hours later, and I'm like, I wanted to hear the speeches, so I stayed up for the Triple H one. I virtually got no sleep going into the next day into work.
Here's the video of carrying Dominic Mysterio golf carts going through. So it's not him. They make it sound like he was driving.
He was in the back, right?
Now, you can't hear it, but they are honking. They're making honking noises.
It's like the ambulance and fucking John Madden just fucking plowing through people. Yeah, she walked right into it.
Yeah, so she walked into it. So be honest with this, she fucking smashed into it. It wasn't like he didn't hit her. Okay, she walked in front of it. So
just a bunch of not ambulance chasers. That's the lawyer.
Golf carts.
Just a bunch of people searching for lawsuits. What do you call them?
And he didn't run over her, but he did hit her pretty good. She could have been drunk. Again, what are you gonna do? He's honking his little fucking golf cart.
Stone Cold looked like he was.
Stone Cold looked, yeah, he was drinking beers, and it was funny. Remember how he always used to catch him with one hand?
Yeah.
He'd always throw him and he'd just catch him. He was catching him like this, like trying to make sure he caught him, like an old man. Now, speaking of that, as we got the last 5 minutes, do you feel they're commenting that Bret Hart is bitter? Do you feel that Bret Hart didn't want to be a part of the fucking Hall of Fame?
Are you talking about that one thing where Triple H shakes his hand and then he does that little eye roll or whatever he did?
I thought it was funny when they introduced everybody. They introduced everybody from the Hall of Fame. And then that chick, dude, she looked like she had fake body parts on her body. It was so shiny. that it just looked weird. What's her name? Cool?
Oh, Michelle McCool, yeah. Undertaker's wife.
Yeah, she
usually looks like she's glossed up.
She looked very oiled up.
Yeah, she always looks like, so might just be stuff she uses or something, maybe oils or stuff to keep her, because she's like 45 years old, but she don't, she's probably still
do you feel
wants to retain her youth.
Do you feel that it was that Bret Hart? You're a Bret Hart fan. Do you think that he just didn't want to fucking be there?
I don't know. I mean, he was honored. He became the first 3-time, whatever, like you said, Hall of Fame. I don't know. It's hard to say. People make a big deal out of his eye thing after Triple H shakes his hand. I mean, if he didn't want to be there, he wouldn't have been there. I mean,
do you think that it was weird that they didn't introduce everybody to their theme music?
They always do the headliner with their music though every year, so I'm like, I don't know if he's mad about that.
He the fucking owner of the wrestling world here. He's also got his own music to introduce him.
He said Nick Khan did it, not him. He didn't want to be inducted because it looked bad, and I mean, obviously comes out to his own music. Yeah, I don't even give a shit about that. But what I would challenge him on, because I've seen they've had job posting for right. It's like I don't even know how if I had got a job as an intern writer and stuff, I don't know how it would survive. I'd be like, someone didn't tell Triple H on paper, these are not great matches. These are not the stories you have going in just are not great. What are you doing? Like, that's the thing with Vince's poor booking. Like, everybody's afraid to say something to him. Who fucking would look at the card and say, oh, this is a sensational card? All these stories we have going on are just going to make people free. Nobody. The consensus is night 2 was horrible, and night 1, like, it's not like night 1 was a thrill fest either. I mean, it had a couple things, obviously, but a lot, by comparison, it looks a lot better than night 2. But I'm like, who the hell is booking this shit where nobody tells them, maybe we shouldn't do this or that, or maybe we can make this better? And I'm like, you have all this time, these extra 2 weeks too. And this is the best shit you could come up with. Kevin Owens legitimately hurt. Couldn't you just have fed multiple guys to Randy Orton and kept having him RKO? That would have been more entertaining than a match with the TNA champion.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
As a guy who doesn't watch it all the time, it just seemed kind of lame.
Yeah, it was. I mean, unfortunately, you can't defend it when it just... The same thing with the Cena. We talked about the Cena match. It was very underwhelming. You finished the whole both nights with that match. Like, yeah, you could see Cena winning, but like, you couldn't even get the fucking Rock to show up. He set up the fucking story. Yeah. And he even barely mentioned him. They must have knew he wasn't coming because he's barely been mentioned these past 6 weeks since.
But why wouldn't he fucking come?
That's why I don't get that. Like, wherever movie he's filming, he couldn't get a jet plane to get there just for the end of the main event to do something, anything.
Yeah. Just show up.
Disappointing, yeah.
Or even do a video, just a pop-in video during it. Like,
I mean, his music should have hit and maybe his head's on the screen and then have the rapper. The rapper didn't need an entrance with his fake hardcore belt. I mean, that was fucking stupid. Like, I'm sure a ton of people know who Travis Scott is. I barely know who he is, only because of his WrestleMania theme. I don't listen to his stuff. I don't know who he is. And he certainly doesn't look like a capable competitor to go toe-to-toe with Cody Rhodes. So, yeah.
All right. As we finish this up, I wanted to show this quick video of a guy getting hit in the nuts by his kid. Oh, wait. I forgot to share the audio. The guy gets hit in the nuts by his kid as we wrap up.
Oh, is this I think you shared this on Instagram.
Listen to everybody laugh. Oh, wait. They'll do it again. He goes to swing at a ball and he misses it.
Mark, are you okay?
Yeah, Mark. Watch this. Ready?
Who is this Mark you speak of?
Oh. And everybody fucking laughs.
Down goes Austin. Down goes Austin. Down goes Austin. Down goes Austin.
Guy just bends over. All right, thanks for watching me podcast. You listen, make sure you tune in as I wrestle.
Like and share and comment on this video.
That's
Please.
it.